If you've ever felt like as soon as you start making progress towards something that you know you really want, you find a way to pull yourself back. Or maybe you know exactly what it is that you could do or you should do and your desires are crystal clear, but when it comes time to actually take action and move forward towards that desire, you find a way to do something more important or more convenient. Well, in this video, we are going to talk about and walk through a short guided exercise on getting clear on what these parts of you that may be holding yourself back are actually trying to do for you. Now, if you've ever felt like you exude self-sabotaging behavior, I'm going to push back against that and say that self-sabotage is not a part of you that is trying to ruin your life. It's a deeper part of you that has a negative connotation or a negative association towards the thing that you're consciously desiring. So an example might be you desire more money, but you grew up in a household where people who had money were spoken really poorly about. So there's a very young part of you that protects you, I'm using air quotes, from having the abundance that you desire because you don't want to be the type of person that your parents cursed about in your household growing up. Or maybe you want to lose weight, but you have this list of foods that you absolutely love, and part of you is terrified of giving up your favorite foods in order to go on this health quest or weight loss quest. So we're going to talk about how these parts are formed, how to get in touch with these different parts, as well as a short guided exercise at the end of this. Now, if you'd like, this is one of the many guided journaling exercises that we have inside of the Velum app. I have seen people remove decade-long barriers in 10 minutes, 15 minutes of journaling without doing a meditation, without doing a visualization. It can happen so quickly when you get incredibly specific on what it is that you want and why it is that you do not have that thing yet. So the way that parts are formed is a lot of the time in our early years of life. So between the ages of 0 and 7, our brains are operating in a very, very slow, very suggestible state. We're operating in delta for the first 2 years of our life and a brainwave state called theta between ages 2 and 7, in which we progress onto alpha for a few years. And this is when the door to the subconscious mind is essentially wide open. So it's like a sponge just soaking in water, and the water being the environment. You're looking around, downloading things. This is true, this is true, this is true. You don't have a critical function yet to be able to think for yourself, to differentiate. So all of your beliefs are essentially being written in like computer code. So you may have downloaded some beliefs at some point in your childhood about what is good, what is wrong, what is right, what kind of people are worthwhile trusting, and all these different things. And as we progress into adulthood, we start to notice areas of our life that aren't changing or not changing as easily or quickly as we would like them to. And then you feel like you're putting a lot of effort into something and you're wondering like, why am I putting in so much effort? It's because you're trying to override a subconscious program with conscious willpower. So you're trying to discipline and force and push yourself into an outcome that a deeper part of you is in complete opposition to. And that deeper part of you, when the conscious and the subconscious are at war, the subconscious is going to win essentially every time. So these parts of you are protector parts. They're not trying to ruin your life. You don't sabotage yourself because you're trying to ruin your life. It's a part of you that's trying to guide you back to perceived safety. And that part of you may have been developed at 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and you may say, this is what we do to avoid pain. Consciously, it makes no sense, but the subconscious mind doesn't work off of things that are logic. It works off of emotion. It works off of safety. It works off of doing as many things today as you did yesterday in order to increase your odds of survival. So to get in touch with a part, we're going to walk through a short exercise in a moment here, but I would say that you can do this a lot of the time just through journaling. If you have something that you really, really want, I'm going to ask you right now to mentally conjure something. What is something you want that you don't have yet, that you know some of the steps you could take to get there, but you consistently find yourself not doing them, or when it comes close, you push back, or you procrastinate, or you do things that just don't allow you to quite close that gap of having. So pick something you really want. If you have a pen and paper, great. If you're driving or walking, obviously do not put yourself in any danger. I just want you to think about something that you want that you don't have yet, and give your subconscious mind a moment to come up with an answer. What is the first thing you think about that you want, you have not been able to create? Now, I want you to ask yourself, why don't I have that yet? And the first responses are typically going to be, I'm not smart enough, I haven't studied hard enough, I was born into the wrong area code or zip code or family, or I don't know the right people, or I haven't put in enough effort, or whatever it is. But all of those are just surface level stories that you can further use to protect yourself. And as long as those are quote unquote true, you never have to change. So you can just default to the story of, I don't know how. And then that excuses you from needing to take action or move forward. But here's the truth about knowing how, is that most people who have accomplished incredible things had literally no idea how they were going to do it at the start. So ask yourself, are these stories true, or is there a deeper part of me that is resisting this? We all have areas of our life that we resist heavily and areas that we have no resistance in. And the areas that we don't resist amazing outcomes, the outcomes seem to come quite naturally. It's because our program's not pointing in opposition to it. So ask yourself, why don't I have this yet? And just get quiet and give yourself a moment to come up with an answer. What are the real reasons I don't have this yet? When you start asking, what are the real reasons that this isn't coming into my life? You're going to start to peel back the layers. And now if you're able, I want you to just close your eyes just for a moment. And we are just going to walk through a very short exercise. Obviously, if you're driving, operating machinery, please don't do this. And just take a moment and ask yourself, think of that thing that you want, that you have not been able to create yet. And just ask yourself, is part of me in opposition to this? Is part of me afraid of what might happen if I have this, or is part of me afraid of doing what it might take to achieve this thing or to have this thing? And just get quiet. Just ask yourself, is part of me resisting this? And what I want you to do next is to take your right hand and just ask yourself, where does the part of me that's resisting this thing that I know that I want? Where's the part of me that's resisting this live in my body? And I want you to take that hand and I want you to place it wherever naturally feels like the right place to place your hand. Where does this protector live? Where does this deeper part of you live that is resisting the thing that you want? And just give yourself a moment. Now, what I want you to ask is, when is the first time that this part was formed? You could ask the part, how old are you? And the reason that you're doing this is because this part was formed much earlier than you probably think. Through some potential life experience where you had an outcome that was not desirable, or you experienced pain, and this part of you said, we never want to experience this again. And counterintuitive as it might seem, I want you to ask this part of you, or to go to this part of you and just thank it. I want you to truly feel appreciation, maybe for the first time ever. You've maybe felt frustration towards your seeming inability to make forward progress or to hold the success that you know you desire, or the relationship or the body image or whatever it is. Instead, we're just going to say thank you. And I want you to truly conjure up a feeling of appreciation for this part of you and all of the genius ways that it has done everything that it can to keep you safe, to keep you in your familiar environment, to lessen your chances of being hurt. And I want you to ask that part of you, how is it that you are trying to protect me? What is it that you're trying to protect me from? And just let this part of you give you an answer. Of all these genius ways that the subconscious mind operates, this is one of them. Now I want you to ask that part, what is it that you're trying to do for me? What is the need that you're trying to meet by running this pattern or keeping me from this thing? Is it safety? Is it security? Is it recognition from others? What are we unconsciously gaining from resistance? Maybe we don't have to face any changes. Maybe we don't have to face criticism or judgment from people in our families or friends or people on the internet. Good. Now, what I want you to do is thank this part of you one more time, and I want you to take this part of you and I want you to hold out your left hand, and I want you to imagine that in your left hand, signaling the past, is this part of you that has done so many incredible things in ways that maybe made no sense in order to keep you safe. And I want this part of you to be the part of you that is resisting change, is resisting the thing that you want. And I want you to take your right hand and hold it out. And in your right hand, I want you to imagine that desire. And I want you to feel the desire as strongly as you can possibly feel it. Give yourself total permission in a moment to feel absolute desire for whatever it is that you want. And now I want to ask both of these parts of you, how can we meet the same needs in the exact same way? So if it's security, maybe you can meet the security in a new way. How could we meet the need of recognition in a new way? How can we meet the same needs in a whole new way together? Again, this isn't about fighting or judging or resisting this part of you. It's about giving it space to be seen and felt and heard, because that's what it wanted all along. And then whenever the time is right, and these two parts of you can now work together in the background and see that your new desire can meet the exact same needs that the old pattern was trying to meet, I want you to give yourself permission, when the time is right, to bring both of these hands together. And when you do so, you're going to feel both of these parts of you start to merge. They may come together slowly, they may come together quickly, but they will come together. And I want you to then press your palms together, and I want you to truly feel this integration move through your entire body. Now take both of your hands and just place them on your heart, just for a moment. And I want you to feel what is the first feeling that you would feel if that desire was already a part of your reality. It may be joy, it may be relief. Remember that what you're truly after, no matter what you say you want, is freedom to experience an emotion, nothing more. Freedom to experience a feeling that you've likely felt in the past, and that's why you're yearning for it again. Just give yourself permission for a moment to let that feeling come across your whole body. And that's it. And when you're done, you can open your eyes, set your hands by your side, keep going about your day. And anytime if you feel any resistance in the future, keep going back to this part of you. Say, look, is there anything we're still resisting? Do I still have any resistance to change? And the more you appreciate this part of you, the more it's going to get the recognition it's been trying to get all along. So again, you can download this, both the guided audio and the journaling version, in the VLM app down below. It'd be an honor to have you on board. Thank you so much for spending this time here with me today, and I'll see you on the next one.